across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This is the scene just before we came on air. This New York crowd fired up by the arrival of their G-men as they burst from the locker room. They're ready to go as the Giants get set to match up with the Carolina Panthers. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season. Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's Christian McCaffrey. His pops was a Giant for 3 years. And he'll manage to break a tackle and get this forward for a couple. It'll be second down. Well, this defense for the Giants, they were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
And I don't know what the actual percentages are, and I don't know the analytics when you create 5 turnovers or takeaways in a game. But coaches always say, when you create a number that high, your chances of winning probably up over 98%. I haven't seen that number quantified, but I believe them.
13 yards, first down, Panthers. Carr now to throw. Got his man, Robbie Anderson. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Call that a very strong gain of 24. A handoff, McCaffrey running right. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. 2 yards the loss, second and 12.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. A good-looking drive so far for the Panthers and a first down here.
Nice methodical opening drive here. They're already into field goal range. They're in a good spot. You know that people like to take a shot in this part of the field. But at the same time, as methodical as they've been, they might want to run the ball a little bit here, too.
Yeah, just on the outskirts of the red zone, they have options now. Either way, though, they've come out with a purpose. Darnay Holmes, the one to bring him down. Well, this defense for the Giants, they were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
And how'd you like to be the quarterback reviewing the game tape from last week and seeing this defense on the spot on almost every snap? If the ball was in the air, they took it away. If the ball was popped free, they picked it up. 5 takeaways in last week's game.
Here's Carr to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Going for it all. And this one incomplete. Oh, he couldn't hang on to it in the end zone, and that's one that'll haunt you. And now it brings up third down. The 7th play now of this opening drive. This is third and long, though. Now a play fake. Carr. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, it's no secret he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions. Can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches and saying, hey, how about giving me an opportunity?
The former Maryland Terp, Jermaine Carter Jr., had the tackle. On 2nd and 9, Jones. And that'll be caught by Tony. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. Jones finding Tony for a Giants first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Now Saquon Barkley. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
So this game, Charles, you know, we talk about potential unbeaten seasons a lot. It feels like every year at some point in the season we talk about that. But this is one of those games where if you're unbeaten, you got to be careful. You can't take this one too lightly.
You're exactly right about that. And by rights, this should be a cakewalk. Almost a week off. Let the starters run up the score in the first half. Backups get to play in the second. But you and I both know that funny things sometimes happen when you think this way. So it's incumbent upon the starters to really play well to make it work for this team.
After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Throwing, Jones. That's to Galladay, and he's got it. Touchdown, New York. Kenny Galladay. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Giants are going to take a first-quarter lead. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Now a 2nd down and 6.
Now Carr.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by James Bradbury. And a terrific return as he brings this one all the way back to the 30. What a start defensively. Your offense goes out, gets the touchdown, and then you get the interception. Just perfect.
How about the discipline that they showed on defense? Because after the offense scored to go up 7-zip, you would think they might be a little extra aggressive trying to get back at them. Instead, they read their keys well. When they took the shot downfield, they were more than prepared for that one.
It's a gain of 11 and a Giant first down. Now Jones. And he slings one that's incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
On 2nd down now, Barkley. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Throw left side, complete to Tony. And the Giants are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. Back to throw. Jones. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. Touchdown, Giants! Saquon Barkley, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Yeah, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, wherever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball. Try and get things settled down a little bit.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing now is Carr. Dancing to his left. And he'll just get rid of it.
And he's only hit on 2 of his first 6 passes. Time for a quick quarterback regroup here with a big 3rd down coming up.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Shotgun now for Carr.
He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey.
And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
On 4th down, Joseph Charlton on to punt.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Running again with Barkley on 2nd down.
And he powers his way up past the 30.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Now Jones from the gun on 3rd down.
The throw for Tony is intercepted.
Picked off by Trey Boston.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
Will be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Carr going to throw. Eluding the pressure right.
And he'll air this one deep for Anderson.
And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Scramble drill there, partner. Some teams have some pretty good rules for it. Others are just saying make sure you work your way back into the sight lines of your quarterback, even if you take the play deep. And that's what they attempted to do on that one, unable to connect.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
On is the punter Charlton now as he's able to get this one away.
And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that, right?
Yeah, he said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Looking to throw. Jones. That'll be caught. It's Tony. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So that play much needed there as they're all the way up near the 40 for a 1st and 10. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. A give to Barkley out of the gun. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
Well, we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
Yikes. Terrible kick headed straight for the sidelines. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. From midfield, here's Carr. Flushed out right. And he's got the hook up to Moore. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Now Carr. That is caught by Anderson. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They'll try to run with McCaffrey. A great move, but it only takes him to the 7. He's dropped there. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. To throw his Carr. He hits Moore on the screen. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. On play action. Now Carr. Flush to his right. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
Gonzalez's kick is good. And they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13-3.
So they wind up turning the turnover into points as they convert there for 3.
Yeah, that was a nice job there to force the fumble. They recover, hand things over to their offense, and then the offense went down and got them 3. That alone, that's not enough to win a game, but both units able to do their jobs on these last 2 drives.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Trying to lay one up deep. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. This time they stay on the ground, and he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Here's Riley Dixon now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. And this will be down by a member of the kicking team just outside of the 30-yard line.
At their own 33-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together.
On first down, Carr. Over the middle, complete. It's Erickson. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. The final shot here before half for Carr. Escaping the pressure right. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of his first half of play. So we've reached halftime here at MetLife Stadium with the Giants out in front. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Returning it, John Ross.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Jones fakes the give to Barkley. To the right and complete to Galladay. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Here's a give to Barkley. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Back to throw. Jones. Completes it to Evan Ingram. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York.
And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
They'll roll him out right. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Xavier McKinney. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. That's caught by Penning. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 20. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down. Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter. A first down carry for Barkley. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Again, it's Barkley. And he'll push forward for about 4 up to the 23.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Throwing deep for Galladay. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
So 1 first down on that drive, and that's it. Forced to take the deep shot on 3rd down and couldn't hit it. Now they have to punt this one away.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. This is McCaffrey on the give. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 40 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Jones on 3rd and 2. Incomplete. Right side, the tight end Rudolph.
And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
On 1st down, Barkley. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Here's Jones from the gun on 3rd down. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete.
And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Back now here at MetLife Stadium. It's the Giants with the football and also the lead as we get set to start quarter number 4. Oh, look at the juke. Busting through contact. Just wasn't a huge hole there for him to operate. Stopped just inside the 35-yard line.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. And this won't get there. Won't be on line either. It's no good. Off to the right, and this score will stay right where it is.
Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the 4th quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's Carr. He finds his man, complete. That's more. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. He'll buy some time right. He's going to air one out for Anderson. And incomplete on the deep ball.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it. Unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Carr. Thomas brings it in. Dances by him. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. It's a gain of 34.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass.
Touchdown, Panthers. Ian Thomas, his first touchdown on the year.
And the Panthers are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there of playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
And he is finally out of bounds, but not before taking it down inside the 30.
129 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. Jones is going to put it in the hands of Barkley on the option.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Well, at this stage, that's exactly what you want offensively. Good run on first down, stay in bounds, keep that clock rolling.
And look at that play chart that the play caller has in his hands right now. That's what you got to focus in on, because that's divided up by sections. And right now, he's looking at that 4-minute offense section. What running plays do we have to bleed down the clock and take care of the football? Right now, they're executing really well.
The Giants on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage, the stop troops, the defensive guys, they got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover, because one more score, and this game's over.
7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
That gets them 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal.
A handoff to Barkley on the option.
A nifty move on the run, but ultimately stops short of the goal line down at the 2. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. From the gun, Jones. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit, because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
And that is no good. He pulled it just a bit, just a wee bit wide left. And this score will stay right where it is.
And that miss should just about right have finished to this one.
Yeah, they needed 2 scores, and they needed that field goal there to be the first one and still give them an opportunity. But now, with the time left on the clock, I think this one's about finished.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Throwing his car.
They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 7 yards there on the first down screen play.
And some play callers, when they go into games, they don't mind calling a lot of screens, and they don't care what down. They were maybe 1 block away from really having something there to start this drive. Good job defensively to cut through the blockers and make the tackle on this.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off near the 32. Then he will take it across midfield and down to the 45.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys
I'm a little
skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar,